Hello students, in this video we will see the velocity analysis of four-link mechanism using instantaneous center method with the application of Kennedy's theorem. We will continue with our discussion with the relative instantaneous centers of planar mechanism, and then we shall see how these relative ICs can be used for the purpose of velocity analysis of the mechanism. To start with, let us take an example of the simplest four-var mechanism. As shown here, the four-bar mechanism has four links, namely AD as link 1, AB as link 2, BC as link 3, and CD as link 4. As there are four links, so there will be six number of instantaneous center as calculated by the formula n is equal to n into n minus 1 upon 2. So this will give us number of instantaneous center for four-link mechanism as 6. Let me list them out in the tabular form. So the ICs will be I12, I13, I14, I23, I24, and I34. So first we locate all these six instantaneous center of this four-link mechanism. Out of these six, as we have discussed in the last video, that we can locate instantaneous center by inspection. So let's do it. Location of I12 is at A because the link 1, that is AD, and link 2, that is AB, are connected by a revolute pair at A. Similarly, I14 will be at D, as the link 1, that is AD, and the link 4, that is CD, are connected at point D by a revolute pair. So we have I12 and I4, and these two are known as fixed instantaneous centers. As for all the configurations of the mechanism, they remain at the same place. Now moving ahead, we will have I23 at B. Because of the same reason that the line or the link 2, that is AB, and the link 3, that is BC, are connected by a revolute pair at B. Following the same argument, we get I34 with the links 3 and 4. The ICs 2, 3 and 3, 4 are known as permanent ICs as they move when the mechanism moves, but the joints are of permanent nature. So out of 6 ICs, we have located 4 ICs just by inspection. We have still to find 2 more ICs, namely I13 and I24, which are neither fixed nor permanent ICs. As with the change of configuration of the mechanism, they also vary. To determine these 2 ICs, we invoke Kennedy's theorem for 3 centers. Applying Kennedy's theorem to 3 links 1, 2, and 3, which are in relative motion with respect to each other, consequently, the 3 relative ICs, that is I12, I23, and I13, shall be collinear. Out of the 3, we have already determined I12 and I23. So I13 should be on the line joining I12 and I23, that is the line joining A and B. This line extended should contain the IC I13 anywhere on this line. Next, let us see another 3-link 1, 4, and 3, which are also in relative motion with each other. Consequently, the 3 relative ICs, that is I13, I14, and I34, must be collinear. Again, out of these 3, we have already located I14 and I34. So I13 must be on the line joining these two ICs, I14 and I34. That is the line joining D to C. This link CD extended should contain the IC I13. That means I13 lies on the link AB and also on the link CD. As a result, I13 lies at the intersection of the two lines when extended, that is here, and we locate I13. Following the same principle, we can also locate the last IC I24. For this, we consider three links I1, link 1, 2 and 4, which are in relative motion with each other. As a result, the three ICs I12, I14 and I24 should be collinear. I12 is at A and I14 is at D. So I24 must lie on the line joining I12 and I14. That is the line joining D to A extended, as shown here. Similarly, we consider next three links, namely 2, 3 and 4. So as per the Kennedy's theorem, I23, I34 and I24 should be collinear. Out of these three, we already located I23 at B and I34 at C. So I24 must lie on the line joining I23 and I34, that is on this line. So we extend these lines, and as a result, we get I24 here at the intersection of AB and CD. So this is how we see that we determined some ICs by inspection and the rest by the application of Kennedy's theorem. As we see here, there were only 6 ICs to be located, as this is a simple problem. But when there is a complicated mechanism with large number of links, then it becomes hard to keep track of all the ICs. So now we learn an easy and convenient way of keeping the track of all the instantaneous centers to be located by inspection or by Kennedy's theorem. This can be done as follows. We have to mark the points as the corner of a regular polygon having same number of sides as the number of links in the mechanism. So we have marked all the 4 points, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have to name them according to the links of the mechanism. And then we have to join the points of which the I centers have been located by inspection by firm lines. As we have located I12, so we will join 1 to 2 by a firm line. Similarly, we have located I23 by inspection, so we have joined 2-3 by firm line. Similarly, for 3-4 and for 1-4. These were the 4 ICs that we located by inspection. So we have joined the 4 sides of the polygon by the firm lines. Now to find the remaining ICs, join the diagonals of the polygon by dotted lines as shown here. So first, to find out I13, we join 1 to 3 by dotted line. Now we see that the line 1, 3 has divided the polygon in 2 triangles. One triangle is 1, 4, 3 having sides as ICs I14 and I34. And other triangle 1, 2, 3 having sides as IC I12 and I23. So the IC I13 will lie on the line joining I14 and I34 and the line joining I12 and I23 as shown here. You can see that I13 is lying on the intersection of the line joining I12 and I23, and I14 and I34. So this is how we look at I13. Similarly, the line joining the diagonal 2, 4 of the polygon will give us two triangles 2, 3, 4 and 1, 4, 2. 2, 3, 4 triangle will have IC, I23 and I34 as the sides of the triangle. Similarly, triangle 1, 4, 2 will have ICs I14 and I12 as sides of the triangle. So finally, I24 will be located by the intersection of the line joining I12 and I14 and by the line joining I23 and I34 as shown here. I24 is located by the intersection of the line joining I12 and I14 and I23 and I34. So this is how we locate I24. So this is the easy and convenient way to keep track of the various ICs to be located in any mechanism. This will be very helpful when the problem becomes complicated. So this is how we can find out the ICs of any mechanism using instantaneous center method. This is all for this video. In the next video, we'll continue with the velocity analysis of the same